Hello and welcome to the Savvy Money Show, a show that helps you be savvy about money. Please note this show is for entertainment purposes only. Nothing in the show should be used to persuade you to sell, hold or buy any stocks. You should not invest anything more than you can afford to lose. I'm not an independent financial advisor. So now that that's over with, if you find anything in this video informative or funny, the only rule is please click the lovely like button or the sexy subscribe button. It's almost as sexy as me. Yeah, made you laugh. Click the like. Now, I've been asked about Boeing. Half of the traders are saying it should be a buy, half are saying it should be a sell. So we need something to compare it against. We keep getting told it's a two-horse race, Boeing versus Airbus. So we should start there. But then, as Boeing is a military contractor, we'll throw in General Dynamics, which is also an American military contractor. So all three of them are trading roughly between 40 to 50% below market value. Obviously, Boeing is at the higher end below market value than the other two because of all their troubles recently. They hit a high of 444, and then after the problems with the 737 MAX, it hit 330, and then the coronavirus, or as I've stated before, the Roni in America, or as some traders call it, the bear bug. It went all the way down to 100 while rallying around to the 120, 130 mark. The thing is, they are still producing planes, they are still fulfilling orders, even though, as the media says, a majority of people on their order book are cancelling orders because them and Airbus work on an order book of a backlog. So they have to clear the backlog. And at the moment, no one's buying planes. No, not commercially, not for freight, not for anything. The only thing that might force planes to go off the shelves is, God forbid, another war. However, the only other thing is if the 737 MAX engine gets and software gets FDA approval, which it looked like they were pushing for it a few weeks ago. But now it seems like after the issues with the 737 MAX, it seems they've come up with a figure for it to cost them 1.75 billion. While on top of that, it's just been announced today that they will face civil litigation charges over it. Now, with all this to come, you want to ask yourself, is that a company you want to get into for a short-term profit? Now, even before the 737 MAX issues, it hadn't hit 440. Boeing has always been built on its innovation, and it's always been a company that's been innovative, a bit like Apple. But like Apple, it's no longer innovative. And this isn't me slating Apple. Apple's a good company, but they're more about, we'll bring out the same thing that's slightly bigger, slightly smaller, slightly thinner, or we'll tweak this one thing, make the battery better, make this one thing better, or make it a bit prettier. And charge an extra £500 for $500. And the 737 MAX was hurried through without doing proper tests, in my opinion, because Airbus had caught them off guard, brought in their new engine and their new plane, and they were losing customers that were loyal Boeing customers. So they had to come out with something quick. So they've been losing the innovation for a while. As soon as they come out with a 737 MAX and started getting orders, because they was going on an even curve, just a flat curve, they suddenly went up. PE ratio for them, well, for Boeing, I think it's 15. For Airbus, is 17. General Dynamics, 13. Now, obviously, it changes that down day as the share price changes, but Boeing is still making money, but it's very minimal, especially considering what they have to pay out. On top of that, they're making face masks for the coronavirus epidemic. Now, I know that's not a lot of money, but that's if they are charging for it. But it still brings in something. Right. But you have to compare it to the other two companies I mentioned. The next one is Airbus, Boeing's main competitor, and looks a lot more attractive. Now, again, their share price has tanked as well. Now, all the share prices have gone between 40% to 70% down. Airbus and Boeing has gone between 66 and 77% down. You have to, since this started, that's because no one's taking flights. They're only taking inbound flights, and it's hard to get an outbound flight. So who's going to buy new planes? Far better to delay the orders and put it off of next year's tax. So, however, with Boeing fighting court cases, fighting litigation, paying off the bill of the 737, cancelling orders, Airbus can take a bigger share of the market. Mind you, saying that, Boeing have come out with a new plane and a new engine, so you don't know if that's going to happen. So, I wouldn't discourage going into Boeing, but if you do, I would make it a very small position. Same with Airbus at the moment. There's been some good news from Gilead, so you might want to consider that, as in some of these companies which have been given, airplane companies which have been given a bailout by the government, and some of them non-forgivable, some of them are forgivable loans, such as Delta giving $4 billion forgivable. They may want to show that they've spent it by buying oil and new planes if they have to spend it by a certain time, and if their country opens up. Now, I don't think they will. I think they want to use it to survive, but you never know. Now we're going to move on to General Dynamics, which is a military company. They provide, because everyone keeps saying to me, Boeing won't be allowed to fail. They won't let them because they're a defense contractor for the American, and they know it. But so is Lockheed Martin, so is General Dynamics. And if you look at it, General Dynamics has a lower PE ratio than Boeing. General Dynamics gives a 3% dividend. General Dynamics is 45% below fair value, according to Simply Wall Street. So, if you think Boeing isn't going to be selling planes anytime soon, if you think Airbus isn't going to be selling planes anytime soon, and that it's only going to be working on its defence work, then why not look into General Dynamics? Saying that, Boeing is still making planes, as I said, because they've got a backlog and they're trying to clear the backlog, and so are Airbus. But while they have a backlog, they will be working on the planes, trying to clear that until they've got zero backlog. Now, it still seems to me like General Dynamics is a good one to go into. It's not a bad dividend for 3.5%. They're 13 PE ratio, which isn't bad. And we all know how the military likes to spend money, how the American government likes to spend money on their military. I mean, I've heard rumours that Boeing won't get a bailout, like the airlines. I can't see American government letting them go under, but they might do something like a future buy now, where they buy future military, they give them military contracts to be provided in the future, but pay them now for it. They might give them non-forgivable loans like they did with Delta. It's all speculative at the moment. As with General Dynamics, they just seem to me be a bit better. Lockheed Martin, they're not a big enough discount. They're 13% below market value. So if everything comes back to normal, you're not going to make enough. So, as I said, it's your decision. You have to do your own due diligence. Make sure you go through everything, including the operating profit, how much profit they've made, how much they've lost, how much money they have on hand, their current assets, current liabilities, the long-term assets and long-term liabilities, just so you know, if they don't make any money for a year, they can survive. Anyway, I hope it's been of some use to you, and if you want any other videos, as I said before, I'm happy to do any Tesla versus their competition. Believe it or not, they have got competition, mainly in China. Uber versus their competition. Even something on the cure on vaccines. Or I could do something on the FANG stocks, which is Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Google, and Nvidia. You guys leave a comment and let me know what you would like. You know, you told me you wanted buying this morning, so that's what I did. As I said, don't invest more than you can afford to lose at the moment, because the market's so volatile, and good luck investing. Goodbye.